So, what's up? I want to talk about something. This is a very critical thing because a friend of mine, I think about two of my friends, including myself, so we are like three. We are actually four. The other person was not really involved in the conversation. So it was just two of us, as in it was just three of us. That is two of my friends and me. So we were talking about something. Then they made an example of Jonah, of the story of Jonah, that God that God made Jonah kind of like these days people use the word arrest, like God will arrest this person, so you start doing his work. So God forced Jonah to go and preach, even when Jonah did not want to do it. And I have not really read the story of Jonah, like read it to understand it, because nowadays I find out that most of the things I read in the Bible and what pastors are preaching, most of them are different. They are different. So for that reason, I cannot really judge by saying those people that say, okay, the story of Jonah is God arresting Jonah or God forcing Jonah to do something. I cannot tell you that it is a lie or it is the truth. But what I can tell you is this, which fall down to the old, which contains what I'm about to talk about right now in this video, is that God do not call people. Yes, God do not call people. Let me use that. That is what I believe. God do not call people. Anybody you see that is a man of God, it is a decision they made. That person, he or she made, a woman or a man of God. It is their decision. They decided. Probably they encountered God. They saw, they understood Jesus Christ, and they said, like, this is what I want to do. I want to dedicate my life. You are choosing to do it. God is not forcing you. He's not forcing you. You choose to be a man of God. You choose to be a woman of God. So same goes for reason why I can't, as in, same goes for the story of Jonah. I do not know where those people from the Old Testament. That's why I keep saying I'm not a big fan of Old Testament. I don't know if that story was true or not, but if you come and tell me that story now, just like my friend were telling me, or they were telling me about that story, I told them it's a lie. That's what I would tell everybody. It's a lie. Knowing God the way I know him now, the story of Jonah looks like a lie. It is not the personality of God. And when I mean the way I know him now, I'm talking about in the perspective of Jesus Christ. That's not who God is, because you can't tell me Jesus Christ represents God and is going to force you to do things that you do not want to do. He had disciples, he did not force them to follow him, even though he could, being that he is God or is the Son of God. He did not force them. So knowing who God is makes me believe that story of Jonah is not it's not the truth. It might be possible that those things happen, but it might not be God forcing him to go and preach to anybody. Or we are not being told the story properly. I don't know. But if it's the way they tell us the story that God had to force Jonah that you must go there and preach, even with Jonah not wanting to do it, then I don't think that's the God I'm serving. Because the God I'm serving, I know for a fact that He gave all human free will. Whether you are a Christian or you're not a Christian, whether you are a believer or you're not a believer, we all have free will, whatever you are as a human being. The free will is for everybody. You choose to do whatever you want to do. You decide that I want to serve God, I want to be a pastor, or I want to serve God and I want to just be a normal member. You decide. God do not arrest anybody, do not force anybody to be a pastor. So, because you can't tell, because saying God arrest somebody or God force somebody to do something, you are contradicting God. You are saying He gave us free will, but yet it is not. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. It does not make sense. It does not really make sense. Because we tend to say things like, you cannot understand God, you cannot understand God. If you cannot understand God, how are we making His likeness? If we cannot understand God, why was Jesus Christ sent if not for the intention for God, for us to understand Him? So, anything you be, anything you are, whatever you want to be, whatever you want to do, it is your decision. It is not. Another point I'm going to state here, another point is that if God calls you, if God call people like as we all say, why do we have to go to pastoral school? Why do we have to go to pastoral school? You will agree with me that, and this is something my friend used to say. He says, it feels like anybody that wants to be a pastor has to be educated to a certain level. Because most of these uneducated pastors, they kind of cause a lot of problems. Like, they preach the gospel wrongly. They like there's a lot of issues, and I don't want to call name, and I don't, but, and I feel like anybody that is watching this video is going to understand and is going to say what I'm saying is true. You see, if you want to be a pastor, you have to be educated to a certain level. Now, if God is calling you, why is, like, who sent, whether God sent, whether you are educated or not, it will direct you from A to Z. So you are going to get educated to become a pastor. You are going to pastoral school because you've decided that, look, this is something I love to do. I want to do this thing. So let me go and practice. Let me go and learn how it is being done. Then you learn and you come and you become a pastor. Simple and plain. So let nobody say, hey, God call you or God. No, you can encounter God, encounter Jesus Christ, and decide at the end of the day. You can still encounter Him and still feel like, I want to still going to live my life. There are a lot of people that have encountered God and still live the way they want to live. You just know they hear their story, but they are there. So, in conclusion, what I'm just saying is, my belief and what I think is that the God I serve gave us free will to be who we want to be, to do what we want to do. Therefore, He does not arrest anybody in the form of calling that you should come and be a pastor and build a church. He does not do that. Even when you become a pastor, He can start directing you on what to do. Thereby, you telling Him, submitting yourself and saying, look, let your will be done. I have submitted. So it's your free will that you are giving to Him. That's just it. And even with that, so you can still go astray, do whatever you want to still do. He will not still do you anything because He has given it to you for free. Understand God. Understand, like, He's there. He's in every single one of us. We just need to find Him. Think about these things. God bless.